Hey, what is up guys? Cleaning PhD here, and today I'm going to show you how to wash a house here. How to wash a house with a pressure washer, sodium hypochlorite. I'm using a, I'm not sure what this tip is called, but it's got a fan tip and all sorts of tips here, power tip, shooter tip, whatever. I'm using a downstream injector. As you can see, the pump is here, and I am downstreaming. There's an attachment here that will siphon up my soap, and I'm just using a long wand here. Let's get right into it.
So as you guys can see, this house is extremely dirty. It's right by a river, and it has lots of webs on it, and obviously people are blowing leaves around. It is in the fall time, so a lot of leaves are falling, sticking to things. The gutters are really dirty here. This is from all the drip over from the rain. And so here I am putting the siphon in my pressure washer, and now I am applying the soap to the house, and I'm making sure to apply it in a uniform fashion. So I'm hitting all the areas. I'm even hitting some of the windows, because the windows are full of cobwebs and full of dirt and everything, and I'm cleaning the windows afterwards, and so it makes the job a lot easier. You want to pay attention to the gutters, and like I said, you want to spray from the bottom to the top and make it uniform. Something I did here is I grabbed a bucket, and it's awesome to fill a bucket with water and then put your siphon hose in there after you're done soaping up the house and beginning to wash. And so here's where I think a lot of people go wrong. This is the rinsing portion, and look how I'm doing it. I'm using the high pressure tip on the white part, on the soffit and on the gutter, and this helps to kind of break down that layer of mold and mildew. Continue to use the power tip again here, and really just breaking off all the mold and whatnot that stuck around after the chemical. Sometimes it can just make it a lot easier to take it off. So it's getting cold here, and the chemical doesn't work quite as well. So sometimes hitting it with a little bit of pressure is not too bad. And this is obviously a soft washing tip, so pressure on that is still very low. And look how my pressure washer is set up here. This is kind of an inside tip. You want to be able to utilize your hose here, and I'm only using a 50-foot hose, but you want to be able to move back and forth between the washer. You can see it's placed right in the middle of a corner here, and so that allows me to hit two sides of the house simultaneously and bounce back and forth. So I can be rinsing the whole thing and then applying soap, and by the time I get done soaping the left side, let's say, the right side is ready to get rinsed, and so you start rinsing across, and that's a super vital thing. You want to have efficient hose management and efficient placement of your pressure washer so you can utilize all the hose, and especially when you're working with a simple setup like this, you can't be dragging that thing around too much. And now look how I'm rinsing here. Especially when you're rinsing, you want to hit many different angles, because you'll think you went over something, but if you just angled your wand the other way or angle it 90 degrees and hit a corner, sometimes you can flush a lot of water into a corner and you're not actually getting what's out of the corner. You have to directly hit what's in the corner. So as I'm rinsing, I'm making sure to fan the water into these little crevices that drip water along the sides of the windows. And definitely the gutters, you want to get both sides of the gutters and spray up and down both sides of the gutters, shooting the leaves and dirt and whatnot from behind the gutter out onto the siding, and then rinse that down. And what I'm doing is I'm working over, and I'm kind of fanning all the water in like a wave pattern. And you can see here, I hit the gutter from the opposite side. And that's pretty much what you want to do with every single crevice. You want to be able to hit it from both sides, because just washing in one direction, you won't get all the dirt and everything out of there. And you'll go back and you'll see all this dirt in these crevices, and you're like, wow, I thought I shot a lot of water in there. But you didn't actually you didn't direct the water directly into that spot. You just shot water there. And houses are very efficient with redirecting water into places. So you want to make sure you, again, hit everything from different angles, at least two angles. So I've gone one way, and now I'm kind of working backwards, getting everything I missed. I'm also fanning into the trees and things on the other side of the house. You want to make sure to overspray when you're rinsing. Overspray to the other side of the house on the corner there, because it'll mist the trees, it'll mist any bushes, it'll also kind of help rinse the other side if you missed anything, so make sure you kind of overspray the rinse. And I obviously switched to a lower tip, and now I'm doing this thing. You can see it right here. It's a really good example where I'm fanning everything. You see how I'm using like a wave, and I'm waving everything to one corner of the house. And that is an awesome way to rinse. You're just working little by little, and it's almost like you're using a broom, and you're just brushing it all along the house into the corner. And that's a really awesome way to rinse, and that gets it done really well. And so now I'll wash it into the corner and just give it a final rinse to get everything off. And now I'm standing at the side of the house, and I'm just working onto the other side here, making sure to get the windows, and you can switch to your high pressure tip to get that 2-story section. And again, same deal on this side. I'm using the high pressure tip to get the white, the soffit, the guttering, the fascia. And I'm trying as best I can to overspray onto the side. Even though I did soap right there, you want to overspray your rinsing pretty much everywhere, so you can make sure everything's thoroughly saturated. And again, I'm working in that wave pattern, waving everything down. And this, you can see I'm standing far out from the house, and I've actually used a different technique here where I'm just hitting every single board, and I'm going across every single vinyl board. And that works as well. That's a good way to rinse. You can kind of cover a lot. Making sure to get the windows, especially on the river-facing side of the house. These windows are incredibly dirty, and so it helps to rinse them down. I did the interior windows here, so I made sure all the windows were locked and sealed. I'm just fanning things into the corner, working my way across. Fanning everything into the gutter, and there was a outlet up there, so I had to be careful rinsing this. But sometimes you want to save time, like here. Instead of getting up onto the deck, you can pretty well rinse everything from where you're standing. There is a little bit of a risk that you're going to miss a spot because you can't directly angle the wand into that area, but I'm pretty tall, I'm 6'2", so it worked out well. I was able to hit everything. Make sure the deck is saturated as well, because that sodium hypochlorite can certainly stain the deck. Alright guys, this is the house washing. Let me know if you have any questions. Like and subscribe.